All right, everyone, we are going to go ahead and get started. I want to thank everyone for joining this webinar. My name is Renee Tabak, and I'm a Career Services Advisor. I'll be talking with you today about job searching online and beyond. This webinar is being recorded. You'll receive a link to the webinar in about a week or two. All right, so these days, the initial job application process has become extremely simplified. You can apply for a job on your phone with one click. Job alerts go out to the masses for every job opening, and as a result, one job posting can get hundreds of applicants. The job market is more competitive than ever. So today we're going to talk about some things you can do to get noticed and stand out from the crowd. Job searching can take a lot of time, so you want to make sure that you have a strategic plan. Decide what types of jobs and companies that you want to apply for, create your resume, and if applicable, an online portfolio website. You want to join job boards, create profiles, and most importantly, you really want to build your network, both online and in person. Professional organizations can help you build your network by going to events and meeting people, but also LinkedIn.com can help a lot with networking. If you're not familiar with LinkedIn, LinkedIn.com is a social networking site for professionals similar to Facebook. Your resume is your profile, and you can make connections on LinkedIn, and those connections can endorse your professional skills that you have and even write recommendations for you. And you can do the same for others. You can post to your LinkedIn timeline and comment on and share and react to the posts that your connections make as well. You can follow companies that you like and join professional groups on LinkedIn. LinkedIn also posts jobs that you can apply for. And you can even see if any of your connections in your network have worked for or at one point used to work for the company that has posted a job. That makes it a lot easier for networking for that opportunity. So LinkedIn is a really great resource that we're going to be talking about more. So job searching is pretty much a full-time job, so it's important that you plan to dedicate time to work on job searching just as you would spend time working at a job. If you already have a full-time job and other responsibilities, it's important to set time aside during your time off from your job, just like you would if you had a part-time job. You're marketing yourself, so you'll get out of it what you put into it. You'll need to invest time and energy in order to see results. So basically, about half your time should be online job searching. The other half should be spent networking, generating leads, researching companies, meeting people through LinkedIn, or doing cold calls and emails and so on. So set goals and have a plan. Make sure you follow up for each job that you apply to, follow up on. So for example, you should have a goal to say how many jobs you want to apply for 1 week. So if your goal is to apply to 5 jobs in 1 week, for each job that you apply to, try to find someone who works at that company to either refer you to the hiring manager or the recruiter for the position, or you want to try to make direct contact with the hiring manager or recruiter. You can have a goal to attend at least 2 professional group meetings a month, for example. That helps you to meet people and network. You can use LinkedIn to connect with people and try to connect with as many people as you can on LinkedIn in order to expand your network so you can make first-degree connections with people who work at the company you want to work for. You can set a goal for how many LinkedIn invitations to connect that you'll send a day. Be sure to interact with your LinkedIn network daily by making posts, commenting on and sharing other people's posts in your network. And be sure to follow the companies that you want to work for, and you can like and share their posts. Goals give you a more clear and defined path and will also provide you with confidence and a feeling of accomplishment when you've made progress. Make sure that you set your goals and make sure that those goals are some things that you can stick to. So given the intense competition for jobs, you'll want to make sure that your resume clearly shows that you're a 100% match. Make sure that your resume is tailored for the position that you're applying for. It takes time to tailor your resume for a job, especially if there are a few different types of jobs that you're applying for. So you can have a few different resumes ready to go. Your resumes need to look polished and perfect, even down to the details. So Career Services can help with this. Reach out to your Career Services advisor to get help with building and polishing your resume. So I've seen a lot of students send resumes that start off with an objective. This is a common way to start a resume. However, in my opinion, there's a better way to start your resume off, with a professional summary. So if you put yourself in the hiring manager's shoes, a hiring manager knows that when they get a resume, that person who sent the resume applied because they're interested in the job. A hiring manager is looking at that resume to find out why they should consider you for their position. They probably have hundreds of applications for the job. So the hiring manager may initially give your resume just a few seconds of review. They want to see quickly how you can meet their objective rather than the other way around. You immediately want to draw them in with your first statements. Your professional summary should be a quick and concise statement that's easy to read, stating that you have the credentials needed for the job. So quickly state your great attributes, education, credentials, years of experience, and areas of expertise and strength. This will concisely show that you have what they're looking for. So, for example, if the job posting says they're looking for a candidate with a master's degree and 5 years of experience and management experience in customer service environment, and you have those requirements, your professional summary can start off by saying that you're an accomplished and dedicated master's level professional with over 5 years experience in management and customer service. Your second sentence can summarize your management experience. When possible, always give measurable data. So for example, if you're talking about your management experience, state how many employees that you've managed in the past. And then look at the job ad. If the job ad states they need an individual willing to work in a fast-paced environment, mention that you thrive in this type of environment and talk about the strengths that you have to support this. So here's an example. Dedicated, innovative, and results-oriented MBA-level professional with over 5 years experience providing exceptional team management and customer service. Dynamic leader possessing experience managing a team of 30 employees while building rapport with patrons of diverse backgrounds. Thrives in a fast-paced and changing environment. Strengths include time management, strategic resource management, team building, conflict resolution, and problem solving. So once you've concisely told the manager that you have the core skills needed for the job in the first statement on your resume, they may give your resume a more closer review. Make sure you review the job description and have keywords that match the job description. Because of the high volume of applications for each job posting these days, many companies will send your resume through an applicant tracking system before being reviewed by a live hiring manager. This applicant tracking system will scan your resume for keywords and phrases. If your resume contains the right keywords and phrases from the job description, it may then be forwarded on to a hiring manager or recruiter for further consideration. Also, when a hiring manager reviews your resume, if they see keywords and phrases, they'll quickly see that you have the skills that they're looking for. So adding keywords in a skills section is a great way to get your resume noticed by both an applicant tracking system and a live recruiter or hiring manager. So for example, if you're applying for a human resources job and the job ad states that they're looking for someone knowledgeable in employment law to manage leaves of absence, workers' compensation, benefits, new hire onboarding, and talent acquisition, if you have these skills, state that you have these skills in short bullet points. Make sure that you're prepared to give examples in an interview of how you've demonstrated proficiency in each of these skills, and also make sure that on your resume, in your experience section, that it provides supporting evidence that you've developed the skills that you say you have. As mentioned before, make sure the duties you list in prior jobs, internships, or practicums support what you have written in your skills section and further support demonstrating that you have the skills matching what an employer says they are seeking in the job ad. As I've mentioned before, when possible, use numbers and measurable data. So, for example, in professional experience, state provides peer support for 45 men, 20 hours weekly as lead peer coach. Another example, facilitated 3 in-house programs for approximately 30 clients. And as a side note, if you're lacking in relevant experience for the job that you want, consider applying for an internship, doing volunteer work, or applying for a temporary position to get the needed experience. In the meantime, you can list on your resume classes that you've taken that relate to the job that you're applying to. So your resume should be a straightforward, professional summary of your tangible credentials. However, your cover letter is an opportunity for you to share who you are as a person and to make a personal connection with recruiter or hiring manager. You want your cover letter to be different than the masses. When writing your cover letter, put yourself in the hiring manager's shoes and think about what they are looking for. They're looking for someone who not only has the education and experience needed for the job, but also cares about their mission and values. In your cover letter, you can tell a story of why what they do matters to you personally. For example, you can talk about the first time you came in contact with their company, or the first time you experienced the effects of their mission, products, or service. You can talk about why you went into the field. Did you have a role model, teacher, or a loved one who inspired you to go into the field? Talk about the company and their company mission and their values, and give an example of how their mission and values align with your own. Again, be emotionally engaging and try to create a personal connection with their brand and mission. If you're not sure what a company's mission and values are, it might be on the job ad. If not, they typically list these on their website. Often a company will have an About Us section on their website. If you don't see it in the top of their website, it might be down at the bottom of their web page in small print. Just look around and you should be able to find it. And like your resume, your cover letter must look polished. So again, Career Services can help you review your cover letters and make sure they look great for the positions that you're applying for. So where you choose to apply for a job, it can send a message. If you apply on sites like Glassdoor, LinkedIn, and their company website, it can show that you are studying the company and are really interested. So if you see jobs posted on a site like Indeed or Career Builder, you can try to find the job on the company website and apply for that from there. So as I've mentioned, follow the company on social media, such as LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and always, when you see they've posted something, like and share their posts. Companies really appreciate it when people like and share their posts because it promotes their brand. If you are a promoter of their social media posts, they may take notice of you and check out your social media. Also, you can reach out to the company on their social media page via a private message and say something like, I'm a supporter of your company because, and then give an example of how their company or mission has impacted your life. And then you can ask, do you have any tips on how I can earn a position at your company? And then this can potentially lead to a conversation that could result in an interview. So you want to look for jobs off the beaten path. For example, newspapers. Some companies still post in newspapers. Walk-ins. Some smaller businesses still allow walk-ins or call-ins for job inquiries. And as I've talked about, check out social media professional groups and local job posting groups. You can check professional journals, go to state and federal employment offices and career fairs. You can even try cold calling, emailing, sending LinkedIn messages. And on LinkedIn, you can try to find a recruiter for the company that you want to work for and send a message to them saying how much you love their company and include your resume asking them to keep you in mind for any open business positions that may match your profile. And try to get a face-to-face meeting through either a career fair, through networking with everyone you know, through an internship or temp work, by volunteering. You can check to see if the company will be hosting or participating in any community events, and be sure to participate. It's often easier to find a job through who you know. Networking is becoming a more and more necessary part of finding a job these days. So you'll want to build relationships to build your network. Networking is a lot easier to do before you actually need something. So it's good to build connections and relationships even before you start job searching. Start off with friends and family and colleagues to find someone who knows someone at the organization you want to work for. And as I've mentioned, use LinkedIn to expand your network, especially with people at companies and in the field that you're interested in working in. You may even find the recruiter or hiring manager for a job you've applied to on LinkedIn, and you can message them directly and follow up to your application. If you can connect with anyone who works at the organization that you want to work for, ask them to connect with you with a recruiter or department manager where you've applied. When you make a new connection on LinkedIn, send them a message thanking them for connecting. Then be sure to interact with them on LinkedIn by commenting on and sharing and liking their post. Interacting with your LinkedIn connections on their post opens an opportunity for you to build a relationship with them even if you've never personally met them. Then later, if you apply for a job at the company they work for or used to work for, they may respond if you ask them to reach out to someone on your behalf and to put in a good word for you, because they at least would know you from interacting with you on social media. When you message someone, instead of coming right out and asking for a job, say something like, "Hey, I'm a big fan of your company. I recently applied for a sales position. Here's my resume and cover letter that I submitted. Let me know if you have any advice on how I can better myself so I can earn a position at your company." And make sure your LinkedIn profile is complete and polished and mirrors your resume. It can be abbreviated, meaning like if you have 5 bullet points listing your job duties under each job on your resume, you can abbreviate that to 1 sentence on LinkedIn, listing what you did for that job. Professional organizations can also help you build your network. So you may want to consider becoming a member of the local chapter of your professional organization for your industry. In addition to attending local chapter meetings of the professional group for your industry, do a web search to find additional professional groups in your area and attend those meetings as well to expand your network even further. Remember, people will be more likely to recommend you if they believe you'll be a good candidate. So be an active participant in professional group meetings and become a leader in your industry's community. So I did a quick web search on networking groups in Pittsburgh and found a lot of helpful pages that listed networking groups. This is just one of the results. As you can see, there are lots of local groups to look into. As we all know, social media can help you get or lose a job opportunity. We've all heard horror stories about someone who damaged their career because of something they posted on social media. So you want to make sure your social media, such as LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, etc., is consistent with your resume, and it's important to remove anything from social media that you do not want a potential employer to see. Always be professional on all platforms and be careful about anything you post. Use wisdom and discretion at all times. One indiscretion on social media can do terrible damage. But if appropriate, you can showcase your work on a blog, or you can be a leader in your field with a blog to help others aspiring to get to your professional level. For example, if you're a nurse, you can have a blog about how to become a nurse and your advice on how to get started in the field, and you can talk about your industry's latest news and current events. Your social media profiles should not only be consistent with your resume, but they should show your great interest and ability to be a leader in your industry. For example, you can post articles relevant to your profession to show your interest and that you're educating yourself in your personal time. And be active on social media professional groups specific to your industry. You can post discussions, show that you know your stuff and you're a leader. If others have questions about your profession and you know the answer, help them. Or if you don't know the answer, find it and help them. This helps to build relationships in your network also. As mentioned before, always use wisdom and discretion when posting anything on social media. Avoid posts about controversial topics and never post anything derogatory or negative. Search firm recruiters can also help you find job opportunities. Search firms are typically hired by a company to help them find great candidates like you, so payment for a search firm is typically made by the company, not by you. But don't use just any search firm. Find one that is well known and trusted in your industry. Be sure to read reviews to ensure the search firm is reputable, and be sure to read reviews to ensure the search firm is a reputable one, and verify that others have had positive experiences. Build a great relationship with your recruiter at the search firm so they will keep your resume at the top of their pile, because of course they'll want to pass on resumes to hiring managers from candidates who they think are the best and most eager. So according to thebalancecareers.com, these are the top 10 best websites to look for jobs. So of course, number 1, we have Indeed, next Career Builder, Dice.com for tech job seekers, Glassdoor.com, Google for jobs, Idealist.com, which is for the non-profit sector, and as I've mentioned, LinkedIn, also LinkUp.com, Monster.com, and US.jobs. Here are some other additional popular job posting sites: the Simply Hired, Job Diagnosis, ZipRecruiter, USAJobs.gov, Snagajob, and The Ladder. So some general tips for job seekers. So make sure your outgoing voicemail is professional. Make sure your voicemail box is set up and can take messages. Make sure that you check your email thoroughly, as recruiters may reach out to you initially via email only. And don't forget to check your spam filter or your spam folder too. But as always, be careful and take steps to ensure that any job is legitimate. So you can try to find the job on the company website, and if a recruiter contacts you and you don't know their name, look for them on LinkedIn and try to verify everything you can. These days, you have to be really careful to protect yourself. So make sure you have a professional email address using only your name, and try not to fill out any job applications on your phone, because typos and autocorrect blunders can get you disqualified for a job, and you can miss an important field on the job application and be disqualified. Always try to fill out every field on a job application. If the question is not applicable, just type not applicable or NA, and try not to leave any field blank. It's also important to make sure that you have your city and state listed on your resume. Employers have been known to ignore candidates for not listing their city and state. If you're applying to a non-local job because you're moving, be sure to state that you're looking to relocate in your professional summary on your resume and in your cover letter. You can also list looking to relocate in your header right next to your name and address, as in this example shown. And as always, utilize career services. We are here to help. You can get your resumes and cover letters reviewed. You can practice interviewing with a mock interview. You can get help networking and job searching, get help navigating a job offer and negotiating salary, get help with knowing what to expect as you're starting off in your career, and a lot more. So are there any questions? Well, I don't see any questions coming in, so just take a quick moment to please complete the survey at the end of this webinar so that we can better serve you in the future. And thank you so much for attending. If you need anything, as I've mentioned, please reach out to Career Services and have a wonderful evening.